Hi, and welcome to our TY podcast. I'm your host, Louise.
And I'm David, and today we have 4 special groups talking about their topics today. So we'll start the first one off with family, and I'll pass it over to the host, Grodine.
Today we're going to be talking about who has it hardest, the youngest child or the middle child. So I'm going to pass you over to Paula.
I'm Paula. I hate being the youngest because my brother always picks on me.
I am the middle child, and I feel like I get into more trouble easier than the younger kids, and it's always me who gets in trouble. So I'll pass you to Emma.
I never got to be Mario when you were playing Mario Bros. And I was never player 1. And I never got to pick the song and just dance. And I'm going to pass you back to Crodian.
So as a middle child, I feel like we don't get to pick anything either. We kind of get forgotten about a lot. So I'll pass you to Hannah.
Whenever we're ordering food, we never get a say in what to get. Like, when we're getting takeaway, we never get to say it.
That's true. You go to Kate.
As a middle child, you always, you never, like, get a say in anything either. Like, it's always what the oldest child wants, and then when the youngest child doesn't get what they want, it always ends up going to the youngest child.
As the middle child, you have to get the youngest child licking up to the parent and the oldest one licking up to the parent. So I'll pass you to Ash.
As the youngest, you never get to sit in the front in the car, and it's so annoying. Like, I have to wait till all of my sisters, like, move out until I can sit in the front.
And that's the end of our discussion.
Yeah, really well done, girls. I can really relate to that, as I'm the youngest person as well in my family, and I can get involved with that conversation. I'd say a bit more. I'll pass you over to Louise now.
Yeah, definitely thinking the youngest is the superior sibling. We have our next group who is going to be talking about most embarrassing stories, and I can't wait to hear.
Alright, so I'm Aoife, and I'm going to be telling the story of when I was over at my friend's house for her birthday. And so we're all like 15, 16, and we all know that, you know, Santa isn't exactly real. So we're all talking about that. However, what we didn't realise was that my friend's little sister, Ashlyn, who is like 8 or 7, was standing in the doorway the entire time, and we all copped on, but one of my friend's friends didn't. So we're all there trying to silently nudge her to stop, while you just saw Ashlyn's face just completely fall apart. It was so sad, but it was so funny. Alright, anyone want to react to that?
Wow. I feel like it's kind of mean, but you're just gonna find out anyway soon. So I guess.
Yeah, I feel like it kind of just disrupted our whole childhood. But I'd say probably my most embarrassing time was when during summer, I'd say I was about a solid 12, and I was going down, like, there's like a cliff, but it's slanted, so it's like really flat. I was sliding down, and I didn't realise how sharp the rocks were. So when I got down to the bottom, like, my whole shorts were just ripped from the back. So then when I had to walk home, it took about 20 minutes to walk home. I had to walk through the town, and yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, that's actually pretty bad. But I don't think it beats destroying an 8-year-old's childhood very badly. Yeah. Anyone else gonna share stories?
Oh.
Oh, you guys had very bland childhoods. I'm telling you that right now.
At least I didn't tell a child that Santa wasn't real.
At least it's a funny story to tell people. And yes, she's doing quite well now.
Okay, so about your story, Jason, was it like proper? Where did you go in town?
It wasn't in town. I had to walk through the town to get home.
Scarlet for you.
Yeah, it was bad because I just had to be in the sea, so I didn't have much on.
Thank you for those really embarrassing stories. Reminds me of some of my own when I was out shopping with my dad. He got into his car and I had my head stuck in my phone playing a game, and he got into his car and I was like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go into the nearest car. Opened somebody's random door opened it, there was a grown man sitting in the front seat looking at me, and I was looking at him, and I just closed the door and I ran.
Yeah, I have to say that's pretty embarrassing. But moving on to our next group, I'm sure it'll be pretty interesting. We have a couple of lads speaking about their idols, so I'll pass you on to Shane.
Hello, I'm Shane. We have a group here. We're all going to be talking about who we idolise and who inspires us to do the things we love. I'll pass you on to Sam here now.
So my name is Sam. My personal idol is my grandfather, Thomas Clark. He was a Gaelic footballer in the 60s and played for County Wicklow. He also won 2 senior championships for Kilbride and recently won an award of a lifetime achievement. He's been my inspiration since I was young. He was very supportive and I've always looked up to him.
Thank you very much, Sam. Your granddad seems like a pretty good guy. My idol is Julian Edelman. He used to be a quarterback in high school and college. He went to college in Kent State University. He then got drafted by the New England Patriots in 2009 in the 7th round and became a wide receiver. Since then, he became one of the best wide receivers. He has over 36 touchdowns this season, and he won 3 Super Bowls, and won Super Bowls 53 and got MVP.
Thanks, Ross. He sounds like a good player. My idol is Ronaldo, as he's a great footballer. He has won 5 Ballon d'Ors and many other awards, such as Goal of the Year 2017. He has a muscle mass of 50%, which is 4 times more than the average professional football player. And he has a 7% body fat. And in my opinion, he's the best footballer in the world. Hand you off to Aaron.
I agree with you, Sean. Ronaldo is the best footballer in the world. But my idol is Juice WRLD. He was my favourite American rapper, but sadly he passed away last Sunday, just 6 days after his 21st birthday. His music was inspirational, and hopefully there will be more rappers like him.
Hi, I'm Alex. My idol is XXXTentacion, because although he has done wrong in the past, he tried to become a better person and help others every day. The closer you listen to the lyrics of his music, the more inspirational I find them. Unfortunately, he was murdered just over a year ago, which is very sad, but it was just a wrong place, wrong time.
Thank you for listening to our section of the podcast.
That's pretty amazing, guys. Thanks for sharing that with us. I'm sure that they're brilliant people. Pass it on to Louise.
So next we have a group talking about skill football and stories about that, so take it away.
Hi, I'm Luke McCarthy, and I'm here today with my group to talk about school football from 1st to 4th year, the good parts, the bad parts, and the managers to go with it. So I'll bring you over to Sean now.
Well, the skill football team, like in 1st and 2nd year, it was really good, but then it kind of went downhill with the loss of Mr. O'Connor. He was a real inspiration and he drove the team along. I'll pass you along to Adam now.
First year we got to the county final and we were playing Scaries and we lost that by a good few points, and then we came back in 2nd year and we also got to the final again and we managed to beat Lucan in the final and then progress on to the Leinster semi-final, which we lost. But then in 3rd year the team kind of fell apart because Mr. O'Connor was one of the main teachers involved in GAA, and he went for another school, so the kind of team just kind of went downhill from there with Mr. Burke managing it.
I'd have to disagree with those two statements, as I found Mr. O'Connor not to be the nicest of managers to me personally. We didn't have a great relationship on or off the pitch when it came to it. I always remember in 1st year, in our first ever school match, I got the ball from corner back, ran it all the way up and scored a point. Very proud of myself because I don't really score, and getting told by him at half time that that's not what I'm there to do and I shouldn't have done it. And I don't know, I feel like they're saying that in 3rd year we dropped off. I don't really believe that. I think we went up a level, and it's just trying to get onto it and trying to lift ourselves up to that.
What about skill football now? How are you guys doing?
Well, we're in 4th year now, and we're playing under 16s and under 18s football. So in the under 16s, we're now in the quarter final, which we're playing on Monday, and then under 18s, we're playing a match to qualify for the quarter final. So we're doing pretty well this year.
I think Mr. O'Brien he's been instrumental in our recent success, and he's one of the most passionate managers I think we've ever had.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Something that we struggled with last year, definitely, was passion to play it, and I think we really showed that against Lucan 2 weeks ago when we came back from 9 points down to draw at half time to win the game by a point, and to see just the emotion on everyone's face and how much it meant. I think that really showed how much the school really care about their sport.
It also kind of looked bad on Mr. Burke's part because he kind of only showed up to the game kind of 20 minutes in, and he could have been out there for longer to support the under-18s.
I feel like that is true what Luke said about the emotion that people can put in the team. If the team plays well, we can play good. It's just everyone needs to put in the work together and not just out for themselves, work as a team.
But to wrap it up, I believe school football is very important to all of us that play it. It's the best when you're winning. It's not as much fun as when you're losing, but you always miss it when you have to go back to class and you're not getting to train or go out for matches with all your mates. And it's always great to win stuff, but it's not as much fun to lose. But you never forget it.
Yeah, that's great to hear from the football players of the school. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this week. But hopefully we can catch you next week, and I'll throw it out to Louise for the final words.
I hope you guys join us next week when we'll be talking about TY life and stuff like that. Just thanks for listening.
Thank you.